Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to 101.1 The Culture. And of course, every time I pop up, I got somebody special in the building. So today I got my dog, Willie DTMB. What's happening with you, homie?
Sir, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Man, I'm glad to have you today, man. We doing good. We got a lot of stuff going on today. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So before I kind of dig in, I always let people know I'm gonna get into your business a little bit. You cool with that? All right, for sure. Public figure. Okay, I dig that. So first off, I always ask everybody, tell us who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about your background. Cause I know you do a lot. I mean, I know you in the, you know, so many things. So I'm gonna let you tell the people and we're gonna dig in a little bit deeper.
What's going on, everybody? It's Willie DTMB, the mic breaker for show. Survival entertainment in the building. From Birmingham, Alabama, off the west side.
What's still for live?
West side, yeah. And I do a little bit of everything, mostly an artist. That's my passion, that's my dream. But I got some side things like videography, we do some photography, come get with the squad, we'll get you right. We got the studio, man, some of everything. What else? I'm even in school for psychology right now, man. I'm something everywhere.
Man, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. So you said a lot in a short bit of time. So I always say you got to have your elevator pitch right. So that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? You meet somebody in the elevator, you ain't got but a couple of minutes, couple of seconds to pop your, pop your thing. You know what I'm saying? So you did your job. So I see that you are not new to this, but true to this.
True to it, super true to it.
So growing up on the west side of Birmingham, and I was born here in Birmingham, Titusville area. Family stayed off Jefferson Ave. So I had some experiences in my youth back and forth from California being born here. But I didn't get to live the full west side experience of Birmingham. Tell us a little bit how that was, man.
Well, coming up, man, like I got a real big family, and most of my family are in West End, so it was kind of like home to me. Everywhere I went, every corner, it was somebody I knew or some kin to, so it was home.
That's what's up, man. So it was real good in the hood.
Yeah, I'm good in the hood.
A lot of people always say there's a lot of bad that comes out of the hood, but one of the things that the hood teaches us, as I've noticed, is community and family.
Right.
And especially when you got a lot of your siblings and you go to the same schools and stuff like that, you get a chance to get that camaraderie as you grow up. What did you go to school on the West?
I went to school like something everywhere, man. Like went to Ellerton, went to Washington, left Washington, went to Inglenook.
So you're all over.
Yeah, left Inglenook, went to Osceola Mitchell on the east side, went to Carver and Parker. So I've literally been in every neighborhood from north, west to east. The whole Birmingham for real. Can you dig it?
For sure, for sure. Um, so when it comes to your artistry, when did you first notice that you had like the bug that like this was what you wanted to do?
Um, I could say I learned it was early, man. Like even before I really can even put words together. Like I used to stand in the mirror and mumble and just harmonize raps and stuff since I could first remember, man. So it was my college in the day one. Yeah. Like I say since like age 6, 7.
Wow, that's amazing.
I've been yeah, it's we go back.
So was it always rap or did it start off as singing or was it
Well, I could say depends on where I was at the time. I got like a flavor from every genre, whether it be R&B, hip hop, blues, jazz. So it was like I used to hear certain beats and certain songs. I never really knew what they were saying, but it just gave me this feeling like, and I just wanted to recreate that in any form I could. So rap, of course, rap would be the main one, but I like to dib a dab in all genres. I mean, all music. I just love music.
that's what's up? Um when you after you got out the mirror and you kind of started, recording your first music, were you just solo? Were you in a group? How'd that come about?
Okay, like I started. I mean, it was just I started just having fun with it. Like I used to have this radio. It was a boombox with a CD on the top. You play the instrument on the CD, and you can pop like a cassette. It was hard to find them cassettes.
So you got a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of age, but we ain't gonna tell your age.
Yeah, I know, but like my grandma, she used to have this stuff around the house.
Okay.
You find out how to work it, and it just started there. Like I just started rapping on beats and recording off a headphone, and I played with somebody. And they're like, "Yo, man, it's like far from the quality, but you saying something on here. You might need to, And I was like, well, yeah. So let's see where it goes. And I just upgraded from that to have my own studio now.
So now you said you got your own studio. I always salute entrepreneurship because a lot of times we start a studio out of need for ourselves, right? We ain't looking necessarily to make no money. It's like, man, I need a studio so I can cut my own. I ain't got to go to nobody else. I can record when I get ready.
Right.
And then once you do that, you're like, well, man, I can make me a few dollars and turn this into something else. So do you use it more for yourself or do you actually run sessions for other people?
Yeah, I do sessions for other people, but it's not like I'm not like full on into it. Like if I see somebody with some potential and you know I wanna see them win. You can come out and say I do your song. You can come do a song about yo, because I know it ain't gonna be no ill will. It's not just about the money. I'm actually give you some quality to run off with, and make some money with. You get what I'm saying?
That's good. So it's almost like a give back to the community.
Right.
So you see somebody that need a little push, need a little help, and you reach out and say, "Hey, man, let me help you get right."
Because I wish I had that growing up, man. Like I had that fire in me, but it's like everybody turned the cold shoulder on me. Like maybe they was doing their own thing, or I don't know what it was. But I just wish I had somebody like that for me. So I try to be that for them.
That's what's up. And our young community needs that. A lot of times we forget, like myself, I'm at one time I was like, I ain't Unc, but now I'm proud to be Unc. You know what I mean? Folks say, oh, so Unc still reach out. He work with the kids, he do this. And now I look at it as a sign of respect because they know I'd have been through something.
Yeah.
And now I can give some of what I've been through back and maybe help them miss some steps that I fumbled on. Because we all fumble at some point in time. We all mess something up. We could have did this better or did that better, but at the same time, now that when you get your own experience, you can teach somebody and say, "Hey, man, don't trip over that log is in the
Right.
way."
But like that's the most beautiful thing about it, because you're not really gonna know what you're supposed to do until you make a mistake. Until you do it wrong one time, like I did that wrong, I could do it better this time. Or I could do that better this time. And before you know it, you got a full blown operation just off making mistakes.
Yep.
Errors, you know what I'm saying? So
That's what's up. Now, after listening to some of your music, and I'm gonna tell you, he's spinning on 101.1 the culture now. So you need to check out the station. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. We're gonna talk about it in a minute, but he getting some spins. See, they checking him out for real, for real. So when you came in, we talked about a particular artist. I ain't gonna drop no name, but you said sometimes they miss the real rap.
yeah.
But you got some bars.
Yeah.
I see you. I see you take your craft seriously. So what inspired you from your first raps to now where you sharpen that pen?
Well, I can say like when I started writing my first raps, it was like I used to listen to people like that who can do impossible things with that microphone, like Wayne,
Okay.
punchlines. While I listen to somebody like Twister or do it that, like my dad played a lot of 90s music around me. So I used to hear them spitting all fast. I was like, hold up.
Run that back.
I want to do that. That's amazing. So I used to listen to the songs I can understand and write. I pause it, write it, pause it, write it, pause it, write it, and I would rap the whole verse. You get what I'm saying? And I started to develop a rhythm. So I started replacing the words with my words.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like remixing folk song, like replacing it. And then over time, you know, now I'm getting, okay, this is a different flow. This is a different time. Okay, this cadence, I'm starting to understand cadences and flows. And, you know, I'm like, okay, so it's a lot of different flows, but it's still only just a box full of flows. Like nobody really never invented a flow or a style or nothing.
It all came from somewhere.
It all came from somewhere.
Even if it came from bippity boppity boo and jazz,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It came from somewhere.
Right. So, you know, once I understood that, you can play me any beat and I got a flow for it. You know, I mean, you can play me a jingle to a commercial, how we'll make it a hit.
And that's a real MC. You got to be. I say a real MC can rap over anything.
Right.
I don't care what it is. It could be a boom tap. It could be just beating on the wall. It could be a Christmas song. You can turn it into something else.
It was a guy I used to work with challenged me. You know, he's from another demographic.
Okay.
You know, a demographic that the music, like, you really wouldn't understand. Like, from the ye old council days. He said, if you can make a song on, he said, if you can make a song on this beat right here, he said, I introduce you, you know, to a guy who has some resources with it. I think,
Okay.
you know, we actually working right now, but yeah, and I did that, man. He was shocked. He was wild. I wish I had it on my yeah, so that was one time I was battle tested with that.
That's what's up. Now, I know you got a movement that you're developing. Tell us a little bit about your movement and what you're doing and your goal through your movement, because like I said, you doing something with a purpose.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so the company is Survival Entertainment LLC. Like, you know, we represent for the people who been through some things. The odds was against them, you know, everything, and you survived. Like, you come through some rough times, whether it was a rough part, whether you never felt heard, understood, that you survived all that and became still grew to be great, because you could have been out here on the corner somewhere, you know, messed up. So that's where the survival entertainment come from. You know, we survivors, and what we represent, like, you know, we got some guys. We had like 5 guys. Nobody knew each other. Big egos. Everybody spitting. So, you know, real spitters is the most competitive
for sure
of all. But somehow we got together and did what they said couldn't be done. We made it a family. We made it a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knew each other growing up. For real, a couple people, you know, but that's for the business. So, you know, and then the young guys coming up, really, no matter who, anybody who got some potential or trying to work or trying to do something, we gonna find a job for you. We gonna find you. He'll hold the camera. He'll come over and do something just so you won't be out there in the way of these folks with what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So we more like it's like a solid foundation, man. You know, a family, but also a business.
That's what's up. And giving everybody a role.
Right.
You know, everybody knows how to play their role. I always say a team doesn't mean everybody can't be the quarterback. Everybody can't be the running back.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Sometimes you got to know how to switch positions too. You know, sometimes you got to Bo Jackson that thing or that Dion that thing. You know what I'm saying? You might have to play offense. Sometimes you got to play defense. Sometimes you might have to sit back and be the assistant coach or the, you know, so being able to be nimble in those situations is what I've experienced in being able to see teams grow, but at the same time, being able to master your portion of what you're supposed to do. So when you're called upon to say, okay, well, your job is to do this, I'm dependent on you to do this.
Right. And we real strict on that part. Like, as of lately, everybody's role is their role. Nobody can tell you how to do what you're doing, and vice versa to the other person. So that's really how we keep everything moving, keep everybody working individually, and come together and make it like a conglomerate, like a team of bosses.
That's what's up. Now, like I said, he's spinning on the radio. So what's the name of the song? And do you have a project coming out?
Okay, so I recently just dropped the project, The Calm Before the Storm.
The Calm Before the Storm.
Yes, sir. It's out on all platforms. You go to my page, Willie DTMB, on all platforms, and you find that there. And the song that's spinning is actually off the tape. It's called Beat. And we got a video shoot right after this, 4:30. You know, you should have got the invite and the addresses and everybody. But yeah, for working, man.
That's what's up, man. And so tell everybody a little bit about that song "Beat" because when I first played it, I was like, okay, and I got my head nod on. I'm like, okay, he going in. What inspired that song?
It's just the new wave of things, of course. You know, just showing appreciation to like the new way of doing, you know, like how hip hop changed in the TikTok vibes. They got the dance hall and also just showing versatility, man. Like I
Yeah,
heard the beat, you know,
and it's a
I'm
little
like,
different.
okay, it's different, it's crazy
Yeah.
different. Then he said, rock flow, you know, this should have a little shock value. You know, being from the South and like
Yeah, I
like
liked it,
West
man. I
Side,
really
like
liked it. I really liked it. Now, me, I'm picky. I let people get on, but it's like I gotta listen to the record.
I
I
feel
gotta
yeah, I
listen to the
feel you
record.
100%.
So and there's so much talent in the city. What makes you stand out?
Authenticity. I mean,
Okay.
I would say because like I said, I'm familiar with I'm a music head, so I strive to not sound like nobody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But still get that same that from that sound that everybody do love and that everybody trying to mimic. You know what I'm saying? If I can get that same reaction off a different vibe, then I feel like that would make me stand.
That's what's up. So I'm gonna take you back a little bit because we talked about first raps. Do you remember your first rap?
Yeah, man. I was young, man. Why I was young. So I remember it.
So do you remember the bars?
I remember I remember some bars.
So how would you compare them bars then to now?
Um,
Was it fire for then?
oh yeah. Yeah, bro. And I know y'all remember that old Willie D, man. That Willie D, that SoundCloud Willie D.
See, people. See,
What it
you
was.
taking them back to that SoundCloud
Yeah,
days.
what them SoundCloud days is crazy. One of my first songs was like I was like they asked what hood I'm from, and I say West End. I'm married to the gang that Frank, my best friend. I'm in the cut and I'm rolling switch. You see a bad chick, then I gotta get more ass than a roll of tissue. Got a big
Okay,
you feel me?
okay. So you was
Yeah.
dropping off top.
Yeah, cause you gotta have it in my system. So I buy the bags with the big zippers. When I met your head like some dang clippers. Call faster than a version twister. Mind spinning like a damn twister, so my ride's cold like a damn blizzard. You know that old
Okay.
I know that old Birmingham flow.
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell
that's
you.
hard. That's hard. That's hard. So I heard you mention something. I ask everybody this: who are your top three influences? And it don't have to be necessarily musical influences, but who do you think that you have been around or heard or listened to? Who are your top three that inspires you?
So we saying like people that I know, like we saying people I know, or like
It could be your musical influences because I heard you mention Wayne.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can say that. I say music wise, rap wise, I gotta give it to Wayne.
Okay.
You know, cause well, we studied Wayne in the bars, you know, and I say 50 Cent due to how he put his team on, not just himself. You know what I'm saying? He made sure his team was known. Like they barely dropped their albums, and we know their names. You know, even some young people right now coming up know their names. Because
Yeah.
like, Jay Z, Businessman. You know what I'm saying? Like Master
Yeah.
P.
Okay, you got to
Mr.
salute
Wayne, I
P.
really got the whole drip. P.
Okay.
Boy, we used to look at Silk Shock and them, and I was like, oh yeah,
That's it.
I know that's what I'm finna do. Just move. So yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, before we go, I know you talked about how you reach out to some of the people. Are you doing anything else community wise, or do you have any aspirations as far as with your organization that you plan on doing community wise? Because I know you're giving back to the culture and you're a part of the culture.
Right.
And that's why when people reach out to me, I'm like, so I know they doing something for the culture.
Yeah, most definitely. That's why I said right now I'm in school for psychology. I'm almost done. Once I can get at least an undergraduate degree in um, what would be social science, I can start like a private practice, talk help people who've been through some traumatizing situations growing up, some young folks and maybe they have a pops or a big brother or something like that. And, I started LLP. It's like an LLC, but
Yep.
a limited
The
liability for people who got a license
Yep.
or a degree or something. And our private practice on those who need, some mental health awareness.
And that's big. We need that in our community. We need mentors, but people that also understand how to cope with trauma. And I always tell people that are doing stuff in the community, you see, we got a big community center here. You see, we got stuff going on. We do a lot of youth mentorship throughout the week. We have some of the young frats that come up here. My brother Antski, shout out to Antski. And I always shout him out on the show. He works with the Restore program, helping at-risk youth, um, giving them purpose, home intervention, a lot of stuff. So I always say, if you ever feel like you want to come and do something that's community based, come network with us, and because I say we grow together. You know what I mean? So, you're welcome here anytime. Holla at me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you just reaching out and saying, hey, big homie, I want to be on the show. I've been seeing what you're doing because a lot of people don't like to jump in on the ground floor.
Get your ego out the way, man. Relationships is everything. Networking is everything, man. Like you got to get out your boat.
For sure, for sure. Now, before we go, do you got any special shout outs that you want to give to anybody on your team or anybody?
Oh yeah, man. Shout out the gang, man. Shout out Peas and shout out Reeves and Money. You know what I'm saying? Shout out the whole team. Like I don't even want to leave nobody out, but and y'all know because y'all gonna pull up to the video shoot. That's what I know. So the love gonna be there. So shout out y'all, shout out everybody. You know what I'm saying? My folks, cousin, grandma, daddy, sister, mom. I can't
You can't get them all.
The list goes on.
For sure, for sure. And you're shooting the video to beat.
Yeah, most definitely. Get your little tick. Get your tits already, baby, because we coming.
All right, for sure, for sure. And I'm gonna tell you how you can listen to his music on the station. All you got to do is go to the website. If you look on the page, it says "101 The Culture." That's the website. Just go to the website, scroll down. There's a player. Hit the play button, and you're gonna hear my dog in rotation. And then, if you got the app on your phone, you can download the app. You can download the TuneIn app, Live 365 app, Radio Box app, and just search for 101.1 The Culture. And you're going to hear him and a whole lot of other talented artists. And if you're trying to get in rotation, all you need to do is just hit us up, send us a DM. We'll tell you how to do it. It ain't hard. And I try to show love. I try to give you more than what you bargain for. You know what I'm saying? So
deals
and 420 tomorrow. So it might be a little 420. It might be a 420 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I salute you for all that you're doing. Keep growing, keep thriving, and definitely come back, work with us. I'm gonna work with you. If you got other music, get it to me so we can make sure that you're getting yourself out there and giving you another platform. Because we got more coming. I ain't gonna even talk about what we got, but I got more coming.
I like what you're doing, man. I like what y'all doing, man. Y'all, I can see y'all being a staple in the game down here in Birmingham, man.
Thank you.
Not even just in Birmingham, but we should be real.
For sure. Thank you so much. And with that, 101 Point Culture, we out, y'all. Peace.